One of the reasons of writing the letter to Trudeau is that I wrote it because a few months ago he tweeted a picture of me. I thought that was really kind of him, so I decided...
You might have remembered me from about 2 years ago, when I wrote a letter to the Prime Minister of Canada.
And then the incident in Quebec happened, and that encouraged me more to write the letter.
And I told him that thank you for taking this actions and being open-minded and welcoming about everything and having our backs, and what a prime minister should do when a time like this happens in a place like Canada or anywhere. My name is Abdallah Shahwan. I'm 14 years old. I go to school at Larrysburg Junior High. I'm in grade 9 there, and I lived in St. John's, Newfoundland for all my life. I came here when I was 3 years old from Gaza, Palestine. Marhaba is how you say hello in Arabic. Marhaba. So a typical day, let's say it's a Monday morning. I'll wake up, I'll get ready, I'll go to school, I'll do schoolwork from like 8:30 to 2:30. Then on Mondays I have swimming, so I just go swimming. And then I go home, usually just sit around. If I have homework, I'll do my homework. If I have nothing, I'll just play some video games or something. And then I'll go to sleep or take a shower and go to sleep. It depends on what I had that day.
Once again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard the Air Asia.
I recently went over to Gaza. I went over because my aunt was feeling really sick, and she said she'd like to see me just in case anything happened, because I haven't been there in a while, and I left when I was really young, so she never really got time to spend with me. And I got stuck there because there was a lot of problems with the politics and the governments.
Dramatically different scene along the border separating Gaza
a small
from
sample
Israel
of the intense fighting near...
About 2,500 Palestinians
violent
were wounded, according to their
confrontation
health
is
authorities.
intensifying. Gaza.
This is the scene there this morning. Protesters burning tires, Israeli troops firing tear gas towards demonstrators.
Palestinians say they have a ceasefire agreement, but Israeli officials have yet to...
It was scary for the first time being there. I was shocked. I didn't really know what was going on. Like, the first time it happened, it was like around 4 or 5 a.m. It happened once that time, and I heard like a big boom, the aftermath. Then the second time, same thing. But then the third time, it lasted for 72 hours, and they closed the borders afterwards for a bit, and I couldn't get out. I wasn't really expecting like that would happen when I was over there, because it was like peaceful at the time when I went over there. But things happen, and it happened, sadly, and you can't stop it because they're just two different governments fighting over a piece of land, so you can't really explain. So they called us on like a Wednesday night. They're like, you pack your bags because Thursday morning you're leaving. So they give you a couple of hours notice before you leave. So we packed our bags. I was really happy. I'm like, let's go. I'm getting out of here finally after 2 months. So I called my aunt who's in Jordan because we went through the Israeli side. So there's like, you go to Jordan. So I told her that we're getting out tomorrow morning. And she's like, okay, I'll be in Jordan because she lives in Saudi Arabia close. So she just drove there. And once it was morning time, I got ready. We put my suitcases, not suitcases, our handbags, because you couldn't have like suitcases with the wheels. And then we put everything in the car. We went to like the meeting area where we put everything in a bus, and the bus took us through like the checkpoints. And then we went from Jordan to Frankfurt to Montreal. And we stayed in Montreal for about like 5 or 6 hours. Then we boarded the plane to St. John's. It was really amazing, and I was really happy. I was finally coming home. And in Montreal, the first thing I did was get some Tim Hortons because I haven't had drink Tim Hortons in like 2.5 months. I think it was a large iced coffee. So once I came back to school, all my friends were like, we're glad that you're back and safe and sound. I'm like, yeah, thank you guys. And they were like, yeah, all the teachers were worried because they knew what's going on there, because there's like war and stuff going on there. So everyone was glad that I was back here safe and sound. I guess living in Newfoundland is like a really peaceful place, and if you're from another culture, religion, anything, everyone in Newfoundland is pretty much open-minded and welcoming, and they will welcome you into their homes, community, anything. It makes me feel really happy for like the newcomers who come here and like don't have anyone or don't have anything, especially people who don't have family here. For people who aren't their family to be so welcoming and act like their family.